Gardener. Welcome you back to another video. Veterans of the channel will recognise this garden. It's one that I come to regular and have been for the last 10 years and absolutely love it. I'm going to apologise, I haven't got the windsock today for the microphone, so you're going to catch this horrible weather that we've got. And it is horrible, but I'm glad it's horrible for a reason that it's October and the leaves are falling, it's a bit wet, and it's actually feeling seasonal, which is a good thing in the sense that, you know, we've had some really strange weather up and down this year, and it's nice to actually have something which should be horrible at this time of year. Anyway, I'm in the veg garden, and I actually filmed 2 weeks ago me reducing this hedge back here, but life's got away with me and I haven't actually had a chance to edit and upload and everything. And when the customer said to me, okay, yes, that's given a lot more light into the veg garden, can we do the other bit? So that's what we're going to be doing. That large hedge over there, we're going to be reducing this down to the lime trees. So we've got all this along here, past all these raspberry canes, and up to where the mistletoe is there on the lime trees, so cutting off. This has been done once before, apparently, but I've always known it at this height. All the time that I've maintained the gardens, it's always been thereabouts this height. I only ever do the face of this, and the tractor goes through and does the top. So it apparently is apparently it's always been kept as it is, but we're going to be bringing it down to about 6 foot-ish, and that's where it was before. Now, I'm not comfortable, I know my limits with a chainsaw, so I'm not going to be using a chainsaw at this height. It's dangerous and you shouldn't ever be lifting a chainsaw above your shoulders anyway. So I'm going to be using the customer's pole chainsaw. I've used this a couple of times, and although it's a very thirsty unit, it's not bad for what it is. It's a timber wolf or timber pro, something like that. It's not a premium brand product, but it is what it is, and it wouldn't last commercially, let's put it that way, but for a job like this, well, we'll see how we go. Anyway, let's set the camera up and then we'll get cracking and have a little look inside the hedge. Right, so got the first chunk out. Let's have a little look, see how we're going to get on. So I've gone a little bit, well, as you can see, I've gone a lot below. There we are, you can see now. I've gone a lot below where it was before. You can see back here, it's another cut mark where it's been before, and up there, right at the top, is where it's been cut back year on year. So by bringing it back to here, we're about 5.5 foot. So once we've grown up, we are looking around the 6 foot height mark, because you want to cut it below. And then, so as you can see up here, this is all fresh growth where it's going to get bushy, growing out from the old cut mark, or one of the old cut marks. So this is where one of the old cut marks will be, and there's about 6 inches. Well, no, a lot more than that actually. It's about 8 to 12 inches there, which will bring us to about the 6 foot mark. So now that I can see where I'm working to, I can use the pole saw for the big bits. There's no point using the pole saw for these little bits because it will jump all around, which is why I use the loppers or the Wolfgarten saw. But to be honest, most of this is going to be thick stuff. Beech is generally very branchy, very twiggy. It's not my favourite to cut. I've said this before, even when you trim them up with the leaves, they always look a bit scraggly. But, you know, it gives good wind cover for this, and it's an indigenous hedge as well. So let's get on, let's do a little bit more cutting. Well, yeah, at least I'm going to save on the tidying up, I guess, eh? Oh mate, they're all coming over. Right, okay, so I'm about 40 minutes into the job so far. I'm going quite well actually, to be honest. Times you get a rhythm, you start going on it, it's not so much of a problem. But I'm just going to have a coffee. Not that I'm cold, but it's nice to stop for a little drink, have a little step back, have an assess. And just walking back to the van, and I'm walking up the other side of the hedge. And of course it doesn't even look like you've touched it the other side. But here we are so far. Horses have been put out, they won't come across, even though I do give them a little saying to eat now and again. We're getting there. That big chunk over there has come down, but I'll show you what I mean. Let's have a little strolly around. As I say, this is a regular customer. All my customers, I don't know if I've ever really talked about it, all of my customers are this size property. They're all, it's kind of when I take on new work, I ask how many acres rather than how many hours sort of thing. And I've only got 8 customers. Yeah, that's right, 8 customers. Not a lot, is it? You get some people who bleat on about, oh, you've got to rush. It's not my lifestyle. Not for me. Quality over quantity. So you can see from this side of the hedge, well, nothing at all. It doesn't look like I've touched it. It looks a little bit thinner. You can see the light through it now. You can actually see where I've gone and got that self-seeded ash out. We're going to continue through, but with that pole saw I can actually get most of it from this side with this little set of step ups that I've got. This was actually one of the first bits of sort of step ladder tooly bits that I bought, and I thought at the time that would do, but I keep going back to them. They're absolutely fantastic just for a little light work like this. Easier to pull along. Just watching bird of prey. Oh, it's gone. We get a couple of kites that go around here chirping away to one another. Absolutely stunning. Anyway, I'm going to slurp me cup of coffee. I'm just going to introduce you to Doug. And Doug has been sent to me as a little gift to put in my my little videos and on my social media. So this is Doug. He's going to participate, and I'm going to do little competitions from time to time where I'm not going to say there's going to be a competition, but this little fella is going to be in the videos, and I want people to comment down below what time they see Doug, and somebody will get picked at random, and then I'm just going to be doing silly little giveaways like gloves, stickers, secateurs or something like that, just to, you know, just, well, why not pass it forward. And anyway, let's have me coffee and I'll crack on with this. friends. Right, other than dragging the stuff over there for the bonfire, that's pretty much it. I keep meaning to say, I was on a job a while back putting in some double gates, only little ones, and a little bit out of my patch that I normally go to, but it was for another YouTuber. And as I was getting out the van, a chap come over to us and said hello and recognised the van and etc. And he actually watches the videos, which I'm really on my phone, which I was really flattered about. It was nice having somebody coming over and introduce themselves. And I've been meaning to say hello, but I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry, but I can't remember your name. But it'll make sense to you anyway. And you said to give you a shout out, so thank you very much for your kind words when you saw us. It was flattering. Especially as I was seeing another YouTuber. He's not in the gardening or landscaping world. He's Teapot One, Bruce, the Scots. He's done a round the world bike adventure overlander. And if you listen to podcasts, I'd highly recommend. Even if you're not into your bikes, I mean, I've been bashing through the podcasts because he's got loads on there, absolutely loads. He's been going for a few years now. Highly recommend Teapot One. I listen to it on Spotify, but the guests he has on there, the stories, and I'm going to say stories because they're not made up, but they're all real life, true events, around the world tours, and some of the things and the guests he has on there are it's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And as I say, don't have to be into your bikes. I mean, I've had bikes previously, but I don't anymore. But yeah, I'd highly recommend it. It's like Teapot One Bruce. But anyway, I was doing some work for him, and yeah. Anyway, digressing. I'm going to tidy up, and then we'll have a pan over and a finished catch up. There we go, all tidied up. Nice sized bonfire. There's no point putting that too tidy. I'm going to burn it next week, but I'll bring a jacket potato along and some beans and cheese and make a little event out of it, work in the veg garden at the same time and just keep feeding it. But I'm sure the sheep are actually all going to be pulling through it before then anyway. Here we are. That's the finished job there. I suppose you'll want to know how long it's taken me. If I can pat myself round frantically to see my phone. 5 to 12. So it's taken me 2.5 hours. 3 hours being here, 2.5 hours. That's not too bad considering I've been filming as well.